Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy here, back at it again with some more BCM content, and today we are taking a look at BCM 325. That's right, this is episode 2 of my digital artifact regarding Star Trek's holodeck technology. Today, we are taking a look at whether or not we're close to replicating this technology, and if so, how far are we from this reality? To start, let me explain how the holodeck technology works, so get ready for a load of sci-fi mumbo-jumbo, but bear with me here. Some might say Gene Roddenberry's concept of the holodeck might have been inspired by the work of Gene Dolgoff, the man who invented the very first LCD projector and became one of the first holographers back in 1964, teaching a course in optics, lasers, and holography at the City College of the City University of New York. To put it simply, the man was a genius, and Trek fans universally agree that Dolgoff contributed a lot of ideas to the franchise. Back to the concept, it works by blending in transporter, replicator, and holographic tech to create solid photonic people and places out of holomatter. The holodeck is even capable of manipulating with one's depth perception, as well as spatial awareness to give people a sense of being in wide open spaces, sprawling with life or objects. All this without having once running into the holodeck room's solid walls. Well, that all just sounds really amazing. Unfortunately, coming back to the 21st century, the technology required to make the holodeck the way it's depicted in the series is still light years away. However, there are scientists and researchers at the helm that are constantly working at warp factor 9, trying to edge us closer to that reality.
Engage!
If you think about it, in many ways, scientists and researchers have realized many sci-fi dreams in the past. Portable communicators are now known as smartphones, video calls with loved ones on a big screen. Well, we have FaceTime and Zoom. Portable archives of information are now accessible in the palm of our hands as opposed to visiting the library. The list goes on. It would only make sense that there are folks out there trying to realize the concept of the holodeck. And who better than New York University or NYU to tackle this project? As of now, it's certainly more hype than substance. More on that later. But NYU received a whopping $2.9 million grant from the National Science Foundation to make this happen. This project currently involves several schools and departments within NYU. This includes the Media and Game Network, or Magnet, which is based at NYU Tandon in Brooklyn. In addition to that, NYU is also working together with 18 other universities such as MIT and UC Berkeley. They're also partnering up with companies such as IBM and Sennheiser. According to the guys working on this project, what's cool about it is not really the holodeck itself, but rather the amalgamation of a bunch of different technologies working together in tandem seamlessly that is more impressive. To make their holodeck work, they require VR/AR headsets, more wearable devices, brain-computer interaction, 3D printing, robots, advanced sound systems, and game controllers that all has to work with IBM's Watson. Winslow Burleson, the director of the NYU X Lab, said working with a virtual reality display in the NYU holodeck, for instance, could summon a social robot to perform a task. It's like using the Force to bring it to you. I don't know about you, but that sounds very impressive. NYU intends to expand on its educational and research possibilities by distributing it so that they won't be confined to NYU's campus. This allows their partnering institutions to run experiments at the same time and have all their results be shared amongst each other. This way, Burleson believes the holodeck will become smarter in a sense, as it will have more simulations and virtual scenarios to draw information from. Even with the amount of work NYU has put in, they're still very much in the initial phases of getting this working. It's currently a 5-year-long project, and according to Jan Klaas, a professor of digital media and learning sciences at Steinhardt, the goal is to have playful learning. Now, we might not be able to relive the adventures of Dixon Hill like Captain Jean-Luc Picard, or have a combat training simulation with a Klingon just like Commander Riker, but there are still educational stuff that can be learned in a more interactive way. Speaking of educational stuff, I wanted to take this time to touch a little bit on cyberculture and cyberspace, as I feel the holodeck technology depicted in the show, and even the AR VR technology that we have now, falls smack dab in the middle of all these topics. Given how prevalent the series has showcased living beings with artificial intelligence created by the holodeck, this causes the holodeck to be a form of virtual reality, albeit one that is arguably more extreme than what we're familiar with currently, making it an ovum of cyberculture. In regards to cyberspace, the holodeck can easily be considered a form of cyberspace because it is a much more sophisticated form of virtual or augmented reality. In fact, one of the reasons why information networks represented by virtual reality technologies are called cyberspace is because of William Gibson. He used the term in the 1982 short story of Burning Chrome, and later again in Neuromancer, which is a novel released in 1984. I also wanted to bring up Charles Deleuze's description on virtual reality. In his words, it is an aspect of reality that does not have actuality but can still be thought as real. For example, in a Mario game, Mario and Peach aren't really real, simply because they're computer codes, meaning they're not real and they're not actual people. Deleuze suggests, however, that virtual is not opposed to the real, but rather virtual is the opposite spectrum of the actual. If you were to win Mario Kart, you are really winning Mario Kart, but you're not actually go-kart racing. Given how we don't have the capabilities to recreate an authentic recreation of the holodeck seen in Star Trek, the idea of cyberspace is largely unchallenged. As mentioned, Gibson's description of cyberspace is a hallucination, and suggests that VR is still totally perceived reality. Could one of the facts of it in perceived reality be due to the need to put on hardware that would detract us from thinking the virtual world is real? Well, given how real the holodeck can simulate things, I personally think this blurs the line between what is real and what is not. There are no limitations to what you see, touch, smell, and hear. Simply put, if you were blindfolded and I brought you onto the holodeck platform that recreated your room completely with every little intricate detail placed perfectly, you probably won't be able to tell that you're in a perceived reality. Well, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and learned something new, regardless if you're a Star Trek fan or not. Stay tuned for episode 3 if it hasn't already dropped, depending on the time you're watching this video. And as usual, leave a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you want to see more, and let me know what your thoughts are down below. Peace!